Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we would talk about some things to be thankful for. I know that this year has been crazy for me as well, and I feel like this year more than ever we really need to focus on things that we are thankful for and things that are going well. But first, we're gonna be thankful for coffee as we make some. All right, now that I have my caffeine, let's talk about thankfulness. Like I said, this year has been crazy, and if you happen to be watching this in the future, I'm filming it during 2020, which should be plenty of context for you. And this coming week is Thanksgiving here in the States, which is a holiday where we celebrate things that we're thankful for. I'm gonna be honest, it's never been my favorite holiday in the world because I'm like, let's just get to Christmas already, which has everyone been decorating their house for Christmas like super early, or have I just not noticed how early people decorate? Because I feel like everyone's already there. We're still in fall mode. Even though Thanksgiving's never been my favorite holiday, I am really big on being thankful, which I'm sure is something that was instilled upon me by my parents. We were not a family that had lots of stuff or lots of money. Like my parents were, you know, pastors and teachers and things that just didn't, you know, we were not what you would consider like affluent, but we always did well. And I think because of that, I was always really thankful for what we did have. That coupled with being brought up in the Christian faith and still being a Christian, Christianity and most religions really talk about being thankful and put a lot of emphasis on being thankful. So those things have just really helped me to be more thankful in general, but this year I have noticed it to a different level. I have noticed that when I am thankful, things feel better. There's a lot of different reasons for this and different theories that people have about why that is, but I personally think that when you are being thankful, you are intentionally looking for things that are good, which makes those things seem bigger. And by comparison, it makes the bad things seem smaller. The bad things are still there and things are still not like, you know, happy-go-lucky, but it's not quite as big of a deal because you have that, I'm really focusing on the good. And when you make gratitude a daily practice, then you start looking for all the good things. I've recently been reading a lot about this in The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. And it literally, the magic, I will give you a hint. The magic is gratitude. And his entire book, it has like a challenge every day for 28 days for things to be thankful for and to see how just being intentionally thankful can change your life. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this book is a little hooey for me because they're trying to convince you that because you're grateful, you will attract more. So like if you're thankful for your money, then you'll have more money. I personally don't think that that is the magic of gratitude. I think it's more like if you're thankful for your money, then you'll be smarter with your money and you'll be more careful with your money and you'll focus on the good rather than like it just magically making more stuff come. But that's what I get for reading a book called The Magic. So anyway, today I wanted to talk about a couple of things that we can be thankful for this year. I'm not going to talk about two obvious things. I'm not gonna be like, I'm thankful for my family and for my house, because of course I'm thankful for my family and my house, but I wanted to really specifically have some things that we can all be grateful for even this year. And so these are all like really specific. And if you are not a person who does a lot of like gratitude writing or anything like that, I would highly suggest that you do like write down a few things you're thankful for every day or every week and make them really specific, because that's going to have a much bigger impact on your attitude and your outlook than if you're like, I'm thankful for the world. The first thing I'm going to say is probably going to sound really weird, but in distance learning, it's November. I've been distance learning since March. I have not seen my children in person since March, and I will not see them until January is the date that we have been given. January, at the beginning of January is when we're supposed to go back in person. In that, I was thinking the other day about just how lucky we are that this happened now. What I mean by that is not lucky that it happened. However, I was thinking about technology and how advanced it has come and thinking back to when I was a kid, and if this had been, like if the pandemic had happened when I was a kid, we wouldn't have been able to do distance learning. at all. They would have been mailing us packets and we would have been like, I don't know what any of this is, especially after a few months of it. So even though that's definitely been horrible, one thing we can be grateful for is all of the advances of technology that make it possible to do things like teach online. On kind of that same note, I'm also really thankful, and you should be thankful this year, for the fact that we can create a whole business online. Again, when I was a kid, that was really not a thing. This is really new that people are able to make businesses online, and especially so easy. I tell you all the time that TPT is not easy. It's not a walk in the park. It's not, just something you can pick up and do and make a bajillion dollars, but relatively, it's a lot easier than a lot of other business models. And it's a lot simpler than a lot of other business models. I'm so grateful for this corner of the internet where I get to help other music teachers by giving them things that I have successfully used in my classroom, whether that's a product, whether it's a blog post, whether it's a tip on Instagram, but all of these things that keep us connected and make it so that I can help people are things that are really, really new and have not been around forever. One thing that we should be grateful for this year, which is kind of a double-edged sword, but that is the gift of time. Right now, things are still super weird, but at the beginning of all of this, everything got completely shut down. And that meant that we had a lot of extra time, because if you were normally going to church or going to sports or doing this or that, you no longer are doing that. Seriously, I've heard a couple of YouTube people talk about like, oh, we're all so busy the holiday season. And I'm like, who's busy this holiday season? We can't do anything. I usually sing in 2 choirs. So that is 2 nights every single week that I am out of the house. And we haven't been singing since March. So just in that, like, I have had so much time this year that I normally wouldn't have had, that I have been able to really use. Some of it I have used simply to chill out. I feel like this year I have had to learn how to calm myself down and like just be okay chilling. Like, y'all, I mean, I'm sure you have guessed because I do all the things, but I don't like to sit still. And so this year, like, being okay with just sitting on the couch and watching TV is a really big leap for me. And just those things where I'm like, I have had so much extra time that I have needed to learn to do that, because if I hadn't, then I would have literally worked the entire time, which I kind of did anyway. And I worked a lot of the time. The other side of the gift of time that has been helpful is how much time I've been able to do things. Now, I know that my position is different than other people. I don't have kids, and so like didn't have all of that. Yes, I was teaching online. Yes, I was super stressful, but in that I was really trying to help other people as well. So even though, yes, I was super stressed out about teaching online, I was also trying to like make as many resources as quickly as possible for other people. I was able to do that because I had the extra time, and I was able to do a lot of things this year that I wouldn't have done regularly because I didn't have choir, and I didn't have my 2-hour commute, and I didn't have church, and I didn't go, out with friends, and all of those things that, yes, I missed, and yes, it stinks. And oh my gracious, we were supposed to do Messiah with the orchestra this year, and I am so mad that I don't get to sing Hallelujah Chorus with just the whole big shebang. But because of that, I have been able to get so much stuff done. I've been able to get so many videos out. I've been able to get so many products up. I've been able to start a whole new TPT shop because I had the extra time, and also because I needed to make things for my kiddos. And if I'm gonna make them for my kiddos, I might as well share them with the world, right? So even though we can look at this year and think of all of the canceled things and the lack of activities and how sad we are that we didn't get to do X, Y, or Z, and yes, it's valid, also think about all the things you got to do because you weren't doing those things. Did you get to hang out with your kids? Did you get to work on your TPT shop? Did you get to start your TPT shop? Because there's a lot of people who started their TPT shops this year, and it is amazing. Think about the good things and think about those things that you are thankful for that you got to do with all of that extra time. Did you get to watch the whole season of The Flash? Cool, that's something you can be thankful for, right? Yeah. The next thing is a little bit more specific to me. I tried to find mostly things that like we can be thankful for, but this is more of me. And that is that I'm thankful for the growth that I have felt in like confidence and being who I am. I know this seems a little bit funny because yeah, I'm on YouTube, but I am extremely shy and extremely socially awkward is the way I'm gonna put it. I have such a hard time meeting new people and talking to people and just kind of being confident in myself. I have always been fairly confident in my abilities because like I know I can do things, but when it comes to like new things, like I'm just really awkward and shy and just weird, and that's why I love kids, because they get it. And this past year, just really leaning on my strengths and actually like telling people about my business and working my butt off and getting even more vocal here on YouTube and on Instagram and things like that have just really helped me to feel a lot more confident, and not just confident in like talking to people, because I still get really stressed out about talking to people, but confident in who I am. Like I feel more at peace, and I feel more like I know who I am, and I feel more like I just kind of know where I belong and what I'm supposed to be doing. And that peace has really helped me feel more confident and just all around better and like more secure. I guess that's the word. I feel more secure in myself, which is something I have always really struggled with since I was a kid, just feeling awkward in my own skin and just like not understanding other people, and just like all these, like my husband's always making fun of me for being super awkward when I'm like ordering at restaurants and things like that. I have such a hard time talking to people, but I have definitely seen a growth in how confident I have been, because I've kind of had to, because I've been telling people about my business, and because I have kind of stepped out in different ways that were really uncomfortable and really made me nervous, but I did them anyway, and doing them scared helped me to really grow and feel more at peace with myself now. The next one is also really specific to me, but that is I am so thankful that I accomplished a ginormous goal this year. I wrote actually 2 books, but I'm not gonna lie, Level Up Your Teacher Business I don't feel like is a book. I feel like it's a workbook that goes with my course, but the Happier Teacher Life is a book. Like it is I sat down and I wrote a freaking book, and I made it happen and published it and got it published, and people have bought it. Like I've been getting pictures of people holding it in their hands, and it is just the craziest thing to me. But I am so thankful that I was able to check that off my list this year. I have wanted to write books since I was in 2nd grade, and every year I have always been and still am very into historical fiction. Every year I was like, there's not enough historical fiction books for 2nd graders. And then I get to 3rd grade, I'm like, there's not enough historical fiction books for 3rd graders. And every year it was like, it kind of grew with me. I was like, I need to write books for 4th graders. I need to write books for 5th graders as I got older, which is kind of hilarious. But I just have always had that dream in my heart, which is funny. I never actually thought about like, oh, I want to be a writer, but I always had that like writing books in the back of my head. And even though I'm not writing historical fiction for 2nd graders, it was still really exciting to be able to check that giant thing off of my list and be able to share that with people. And that is one of the big things that helped give me some confidence this year, was actually talking to people and like my entire church knowing about it and coming up to me and asking me about it. I'm like, yeah. It's just a little weird. And I'm only gonna do one more because I don't want to talk your ear off a little bit too much, because we've got Vlogmas coming up, so you're gonna be so sick of me. But that is that I am so, at the risk of sounding cheesy, I am so thankful for all of you and for this community that we have built. This year, if you watched my video about how I messed up my YouTube channel and how I fixed it, I talked about how I was kind of all over the place, and this year I made the decision to split and make my YouTube channel just about TBT authors, and I made an Instagram, and I made, you know, an email list, and then I made courses. And so all of these things have come about because of you and wouldn't exist because of you, because there'd be no point if you weren't there. I did it completely just because I saw this need in the community for it, and once I really stepped into that and kind of like narrowing down my niche like I tell you to do all the time. I'm living proof that it works. I have just found this amazing community in all of you, and it makes me so happy to see you watching my videos and commenting. I love commenting with you guys, you know, talking to you guys on Instagram, and I've really made an effort to try to talk to everyone, and I've really made an effort to try to talk to people on Instagram, and that has just made a huge difference, and I feel so blessed. Like, I just love, don't tell the music people, but I love talking to you guys, and I love getting on Instagram, not because it's Instagram, but because I get to talk to you, and I love answering questions and all of those things. So I'm just so grateful for you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video, and thank you for just being awesome, because you are. You're awesome. All right, so that's all that's on my list. I could sit here and talk about what I'm thankful for forever, but I will restrain myself. Now, I would love to hear what you are thankful for. So let me know in the comments what you are thankful for this year, and get ready for Vlogmas because it starts next week. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.